All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rob from Rob Cologne Radio. I'm not going to be too long. I just want to have a conversation about EPO and performance enhancement drugs in combat sports. Now, a second big name fighter in combat sports in the last 3 weeks, I want to say, has been found to have EPO in their system. The first was the UFC bantamweight champion, TJ Dillashaw. And now we see Big Baby Miller also test positive for EPO. Now, Big Baby tested positive for some straight up steroids, I want to say about a couple weeks ago before. And now they looked back and they found some other adverse findings in some of his samples. Now, EPO is a lot more dangerous than people want to give it credit. I understand, MMA has had historical, instances where people tested positive for performance enhancement drugs. But don't write off EPO like it's a harmless drug or a victimless act on the person that has been taking it. EPO can be very dangerous. And the reason why I say it, because it gives you an unrealistic endurance advantage over somebody who's not taking it. If you look at the people who have received severe traumatic brain injury from combat sports, most of the guys received it in the later rounds. And if you look at the physical makeup of most fighters, muscle buildup usually makes things somewhat even because the person with the bigger muscle, not all the time, will sometimes gas out before the person, with the leaner muscle mass, but the person with the leaner muscle mass may not have as much power. So it evens out. But when you have a person that is just as strong as you and has an unrealistic cardio advantage over you, that is dangerous. Like I said, if you look at most traumatic brain injuries in combat sports, they happen later in the fight when the opponent that received the real damage was tired and could not defend themselves, and the other person still had gas in the tank. Not saying that those traumatic brain injuries were a result of somebody using EPO, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective and trying to get you to understand that EPO is extremely dangerous to an opponent. It's kind of messed up that TJ used the stuff and still lost, but it may have been his kryptonite in the end, because in all reality, if you looked at the dude, if he wasn't using it, he may not have been able to make it down to that weight. But Big Baby Miller has jacked up. This was a huge fight for him. It would have been his biggest payday. And even if he went in there and had a decent showing and didn't get just totally knocked out by Joshua, he would have had money still on the table. But it's your boy Rob from Rob Cologne Radio. Make sure you subscribe. I'll holla. One.